Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings from Manchester United's 1-0 win against West Ham at Old Trafford. So going to start with David De Gea. He's going to get a 6 out of 10. He had very little to do in the game. De Gea made some fantastic saves in the first half in the 3-1 win against Brentford. Got to give De Gea credit, he's done really well this season and he's back to his best. Moving on to Diego Dalor. I'm going to give Dalor an 8 out of 10. What a fantastic performance he put out today. Showed some good attacking intent in the game. He got in some very good positions. He provided width. He also made a crucial interception and a crucial block in the game. Dalor is our first choice right back under Ralph Rangnick. He's had good games this season, especially under Rangnick. Moving on to Rafael Varan. He's going to get a 7 out of 10 for he enjoyed a good game today. I thought Varan was good in the air and defensively he was quite good. Varan also played really well in the 3-1 win against Brentford. Most of the time when Varan plays, he seems to make the difference. Varan's had a couple of injuries though since he signed for the club. Earlier on this season he had a hamstring injury and before then he had a groin injury and he was out with that groin injury for a few weeks. Moving on to Harry Maguire. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I thought he did okay in the game. I thought Maguire was good in the air. He did get a yellow card in the game for a clumsy challenge. To be honest with you, it's probably the best game Maguire has enjoyed for a while. Not so long ago he had an injury, didn't he, Maguire? He had a calf injury earlier on this season and towards the end of last season he had ligament damage in his ankle. Earlier on this season though, Maguire spoke out, didn't he? Obviously he admitted that he was sick of Man United's poor form. And he said, the Man United players were letting the fans down. And he said that, Rangnick was not all to blame for the poor performances. Moving on to Alex Tellez. He's going to get a 7 out of 10. He enjoyed a very good game today. Tellez was energetic. He was creative. He got in some good positions. Tellez was far superior against West Ham than he was in the 3-1 win against Brentford. I don't think he was too good against Brentford, but he did put some dangerous crosses into the box against Brentford. Obviously, Tellez is our first choice left back under Rangnick. Moving on to Fred, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Fred had a good chance in the game, produced a good save from Areola. Fred did well in the 3-1 win against Brentford. He obviously got an assist in that game for obviously Anthony Alanga's goal. Fred also got an assist in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa the other week. Moving on to Scott McTominay. He's going to get a 6 out of 10. Don't think he was as good today as he was in the game against Brentford. McTominay played well against Brentford. McTominay obviously was involved in the build-up to 2 of the goals against Brentford. McTominay didn't play in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa because he was suspended. McTominay played very well in the cup game against Villa. He got man of the match. McTominay has been one of our best performers under Rangnick. And today McTominay did create some chances. Moving on to Bruno Fernandes. He's going to get a 5 out of 10. I thought Fernandes was very quiet in the game today. Bruno Fernandes was much better in the games against Brentford and Aston Villa in the league. Obviously in the game against Brentford, Bruno Fernandes provided 2 assists. And he scored both of Manchester United's goals in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa. The games against Brentford and Villa in the league are probably the 2 best games that Fernandes has had so far this season, because he has been poor in a lot of games this season. As you all know, not so long ago, The Athletic said that Bruno Fernandes rejected a contract offer from Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes' contract talks are postponed until the summer, having turned down an offer last year. Obviously Fernandes is demanding similar money to the top earners at the club. Fernandes receives £100,000 a week at the moment. He's under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Anthony Alanga, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He played well today. I thought his movement was good. Got in some good positions. And he was skillful at times in the game. Anthony Alanga, of course, played well in the 3-1 win against Brentford. He scored in that game. That was his first goal of the season. It was a very good header. Alanga also played well in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa the other week. He had a couple of chances in that game, so he was unlucky not to score. Looks a very good asset for the first team squad. Mason Greenwood, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. I thought he played well today. He pressed well. He got in some good positions. Mason Greenwood, I thought, did well against Brentford. Obviously, he scored in that game. In the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa the other week, Greenwood was greedy at times in that game. And he had chances in that game, but unfortunately, he didn't convert them. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Ronaldo played a part in Marcus Rashford's late winner. He was much better today than he was in the game against Brentford. Cristiano Ronaldo could have won a penalty today. Ronaldo did start Manchester United's game against Brentford, but obviously Ronaldo got taken off, and Ronaldo was frustrated for being substituted against Brentford, but Ralf Rangnick defended his decision to substitute Ronaldo against Brentford. Ronaldo's just recovered from a neck injury. It did say at the first that Ronaldo was a doubt for this game. By the way, Ronaldo faces a 25% pay cut should Manchester United fail to qualify for the Champions League. Well, it said Ronaldo will leave Man United if they fail to qualify for the Champions League. The other week, Ronaldo gave an interview, and obviously he was critical of the youngsters, so he's demanding more from the youngsters, isn't he? And he also said that, Rangnick will do a good job at Man United, and he said, I'm not at Man United to compete for 6th or 7th. He said Man United finishing below 3rd is unacceptable. Of course, Manchester United brought substitutions on in the game. Obviously, Marcus Rashford came on. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Marcus Rashford scored the winner in injury time. Marcus Rashford has moved Manchester United into 4th. Marcus Rashford scored in the 3-1 win against Brentford. He came off the bench in that game. He ended his 3-month goal drought. So Rashford has scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. So it's good now that he's found some form. Ralf Rangnick said that Marcus Rashford is one of the top strikers in England. Not so long ago, Rashford had a minor leg injury, and don't forget he missed the first 2 months of the season with that shoulder problem. Rashford's had a lot of poor games this season, and people have been saying he hasn't been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder, but like I've just said not so long ago, it's good now that he's found some form. Edinson Cavani came on in the game. He's going to get a 7 out of 10. Cavani obviously got the assist for the Marcus Rashford winner. There has been talks saying that Cavani was possibly offside in the build-up to Marcus Rashford's winner. And we brought someone else on in the game as well. Anthony Martial, just remembered. I'll give Martial a 7 out of 10 because I thought he made an impact when he came on. I think it was his first appearance in over a month. So there you go. That is your player ratings from Manchester United's 1-0 win against West Ham. It was a dominant performance today by Manchester United, so we deserved the victory. West Ham had a few chances in the game. Jared Bowen had a chance, hit the side netting. And Thomas Souček also had a headed chance that just went past the post. Manchester United are missing some players. Obviously, Jadon Sancho or Victor Lindelof played no part today because they're out because of personal reasons. Obviously, Luke Shaw played no part today because he recently picked up an injury. Eric Bailly, of course, played no part today because he's at the African Cup of Nations. He doesn't really get in the team anyway. There was no Wan-Bissaka today because he's still out with COVID. He's not our first choice right back under Rangnick anyway. And Paul Pogba, of course, didn't play any part today because he's still out with injury. But Paul Pogba is set to return to action after the international break. Ralph Rangnick confirmed not so long ago. West Ham, they had two players missing. Ogbonna, he's out for the season with injury. And obviously Ben Rama, he's not available for West Ham at the moment because he's at the African Cup of Nations. So there, I think, were the only players that West Ham were missing. Mark Noble, I think, has just recovered from injury for them. Souček come back from injury not so long ago. Kurt Zuma's obviously just recovered from injury. West Ham will be disappointed losing today. You know, they also lost to Leeds last week 3-2. But despite that, you know, I think West Ham have enjoyed a very good season to their standards. I think they are now 5th in the league. Obviously, they are into the last 16 of the Europa League as well. West Ham did well last season. I think last season they finished 6th. West Ham were unlucky to miss out on Champions League qualification last season. David Moyes was obviously reuniting with Manchester United today. Got to give David Moyes credit. You know, he's done well in his second spell at West Ham. He's been West Ham manager for over 2 years in his second spell. Moyes obviously didn't do well in his first spell at West Ham. Moyes is under contract with West Ham until 2024. Before West Ham, David Moyes, of course, managed Sunderland. Sunderland got relegated when they had Moyes, so reflecting on that, Moyes did resign. Before Sunderland, he managed Real Sociedad. Obviously, he got sacked by then. Before then, he managed Manchester United. Manchester United did sack him after 10 months. Man United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. That's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. Before then, he managed Everton. You know, Moyes was a very long-serving manager at Everton. He enjoyed 11 years with them, and before then, he was at Preston. So there you go. Let me put into the equation that West Ham did lose Sebastian Haller. They also lost Felipe Anderson. I think Frederick Ibsen left them. And was it a few years ago now they lost Payet? Manchester United's next game is Middlesbrough in the FA Cup 4th round. That is on the 4th of February. It's a Friday. To be honest with you, I'm expecting Ralph Rangnick to rotate in that game. Manchester United progressed to the fourth round of the FA Cup by obviously beating Aston Villa in the third round 1-0. Middlesbrough, obviously, they got to the fourth round of the FA Cup by beating Mansfield 3-2 in the third round. The last time Manchester United played Middlesbrough was it back in March 2017. Manchester United won 3-1. Middlesbrough, of course, are in the Championship. Their manager is Chris Wilder. Middlesbrough appointed him in last year. Because obviously last year Middlesbrough sacked Neil Warnock. Before Middlesbrough, Chris Wilder was at Sheffield United. Before then, he managed Northampton. Before then, he was at Oxford. Before then, he was at Halifax Town. And before then, he was at Alfred Town. Yeah, but I'm expecting Man United to beat Middlesbrough. My next league game is Burnley. That's the 8th of February. Ralph Rangnick, I think he's managed 10 games now for Manchester United. He's only lost one game so far as Man United manager. You know, Man United lost to Wolves 1-0 at Old Trafford earlier on this season. That was the first time Wolves won at Old Trafford since 1980. By the way, reflecting on the win today against West Ham, it was the first time we'd won back-to-back games under Rangnick. You know, Rangnick's Man United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did say Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. If Man United finish in the top 4, I think Rangnick will get the consultancy role. You know, there has been some good performances under Rangnick. There's also been poor performances as well. Prior to the Brentford game, Rangnick announced Manchester United's new formation. Obviously, it is the 4-3-3 formation. That seems to suit our standards. Obviously, the 4-2-2 formation got scrapped because obviously that formation wasn't working. Earlier on this season, there was reports coming out, you know, saying that Rangnick's already losing the dressing room at Man United, and it did mention that 17 Man United players are unhappy, and he mentioned that Rangnick's already under pressure. Earlier on this month, Rangnick got told that transfer funds are available this month, so it said the Glazers will back him. Before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. To his credit, you know, he's made changes earlier on this season. He brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He brought Chris Armas in as an assistant coach, and he brought Saz Chalens in as a sports psychologist. If Rangnick can win a trophy at Man United and he can get us a top 4 finish, do you think there is a chance he'll get the Man United job on a permanent basis? Well, like I updated you this morning, it said Ralph Rangnick wants Erik ten Hag as Manchester United's manager in the summer. You know, Mauricio Pochettino, he's been persistently linked with a managerial role at Man United. The other week, Diego Simeone from Atletico Madrid got mentioned. So there you go. Don't forget, Man United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. Obviously, you know the news on the transfers. You know the news on Ousmane Dembele. Man United are prepared to sign Ousmane Dembele this month, but only on a 3 transfer. Well, reports from France said that Barcelona are willing to sell Dembele for just 17 million. Dembele insists he will not be blackmailed by Barcelona, and Dembele is being told to leave Barcelona. I don't want Dembele at Manchester United because he's too injury prone. Earlier on this season there was rumours of a Dembele and Martial swap deal. You know the news on Amadou Haidara. I heard that RB Leipzig could sell Amadou Haidara for 46 million in this January transfer window. Well, reports have said that Rangnick's already verbally agreed a 33 million fee to sign Amadou Haidara. You know, Ralf Rangnick held talks with RB Leipzig chiefs. Amadou Haidara informed his close friends that he wants to join Man United, and he said he dreams of playing in England and his favourite club is Man United. Haidara has a 33 million release clause. He's been at Leipzig since 2019 and he's under contract with them until 2025. Rangnick knows Haidara well, which is beneficial. Earlier on this season, Rangnick said that he wanted Amadou Haidara as his first signing as Man United manager. Manchester United have been relentlessly linked with Denis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Earlier on this season, Man United were linked with Ruben Neves as well from Wolves. I'd certainly take Ruben Neves at Manchester United. A couple of weeks ago, there was reports saying that Manchester United were interested in Tariq Lamptey from Brighton. You know, we want a midfielder because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. So there you go, and obviously players are going to depart the club this year. Jesse Lingard, he's going to be leaving Manchester United. There's been rumours saying that he's closing in on a move to Newcastle. You know, Newcastle made a second loan offer for Jesse Lingard after Man United rejected their first approach. It said Newcastle are willing to pay 6 million to loan Lingard and cover the costs of his 80,000 wages. Lingard's keen on a move to Newcastle, but Man United would prefer to let Lingard leave permanently this month. Lingard doesn't get in our team and he's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Anthony Martial, I think he's leaving the club. It did recently say that Juventus are interested in taking Martial on loan. Man United are asking for up to 6 million in loan fees. Martial's made it clear that he wants to move abroad. Doesn't want to go to a Premier League club because Martial rejected loan offers from Tottenham and Newcastle. Like I said, he came on in the game today against West Ham and he did well. Prior to the Brentford game, Ralf Rangnick revealed that the Martial matter was resolved. Before that, obviously Rangnick said that Martial refused to play against Villa, but Martial came out and denied claims that he refused to play against Aston Villa. Martial's just come back from injury not so long ago. Edinson Cavani, he'll be leaving. He'll leave in the summer, I think. Can't see him leaving this month because earlier on this season Rangnick revealed that he wants Edinson Cavani to stay at Man United until the end of the season. We're loaning Amad Diallo out. Juan Mata, of course, will be leaving the club. Van der Beek will leave as well because he doesn't get enough opportunities. I think Matic is leaving the club this year. I also think Pogba will leave in the summer. Pogba's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Not so long ago, Pogba told Man United he wants to join Real Madrid in the summer, but there again, PSG is the most likely destination for Pogba. Not so long ago, Pogba held talks with PSG. Do you think Pogba will sign a new contract? Well, revert back to the other month, the Sun said that Man United offered Paul Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract. That would have made Pogba the highest paid player in Premier League history. But Pogba actually denied being offered that contract. Like I said earlier on in the video, he's set to return to action after the international break. Jones and Bailly, of course, are leaving the club this year as well. And Man United will look to get rid of Dean Henderson permanently. We're refusing to loan Dean Henderson out. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.